Welcome to Three Skulls Tavern, a channel devoted to tabletop role-playing games by Free League Publishing. This show is sponsored by Foundry, the virtual tabletop, as well as WorldMill, online server hosting for the Foundry tabletop. To support the show, head over to patreon.com/MattK. For a minimum of $2 per month, you get access to a ton of extra content. Previously on Alien, New Alaska.
Private log, Jack Nagumi. Iceworms. They're tasty. That's probably a good thing, considering how we went about catching one yesterday. I could see a lot of my colleagues weren't on board with the hunt, but each and every one of them were chowing down on a steak later that night. No risk, no reward, right? Anyway, we'll be bundling into the Snowcat in the morning to relieve Exploration Team Beta, my name for them, of course. We'll be meeting them at the remote mining station, where I imagine the small comforts we're currently enjoying will soon be a fond memory. Once this mess with the Houston is behind us, and everything we can salvage has been recovered, it'll be good to actually do some proper exploring again. Yeah, just keep thinking of the money, Jack, and some very long R&R at the tail end of this shit show.
I remember the using this time before 5 minutes in. Hello everyone, welcome to Alien New Alaska. Sorry about the delays, we're here ready to go, and we'll just quickly rattle through all the characters. So I'm Matt, I'm going to be playing Jack, the company agent. Now if we go up from me, I guess, and then across to Ed at the end. So up from me is Chris.
Hi, I'm Chris, and I'll be playing Kit the Roughneck.
And then Harry.
I'm Harry, and I'm playing Jean-Michel, the geologist.
And I'm Habib, and I'm playing Kai, the transport and logistics guy.
I'm Ed. I'm everyone else. Welcome back.
Pretty
well,
much
no.
accurate.
True. Another fun-filled day. So I'll just jump straight in, I guess. Right. Having spent the last 10 days in New Alaska, it appears that you are now trundling your way back to the remote mining station to relieve, I believe, Expedition Team Beta, according to Jack. So you're going to do a handover, and they are going to come back with everything they've managed to salvage from the debris field of the Houston. You will then go up there for 2 weeks and do the same thing. Continue to look through the debris field, give as much stuff as you can back, and then you will be making your way back to the research station, and they'll be coming back this way. So you are in your Snowcat, making your way north to the remote mining station. It's actually not a bad day. It's about -12 out. It's a light dusting of snow. Unfortunately, it's also a fairly heavier dusting of ash from the volcanic eruptions that have been happening to the southeast. And as such, it's a steady drive, about 7 hours worth, to take you to the remote mining station. Is there anything at all that you are particularly planning to do? Stop off, see the sights, catch an iceworm? Anything you particularly want to do on the way? If not, we will arrive at the remote mining station.
If there's no urgency, then we're going right past that bit of metal we found buried in the ice, right?
You are?
I'm not normally one to go off the beaten track, but are we interested? Could we spend an hour or two there?
I'd like to.
I'd love to.
All right, so maybe we equip ourselves ahead of time and make sure I'll get a block and tackle, some chains and ropes.
Only
and
if Daddy says it's okay.
a boom arm rigged, and we might even be able to lift something up out of the ice.
Sounds good.
Here's one. is it feasible, Ed, between the myself and the roughneck to kind of channel the exhaust or coolant system of the snowcat into some kind of like basically Karcher pressure jet, so we can kind of move some of the ice around the metal?
I'm sure with a heavy machinery roll, you could probably do something like that.
There you go, Kit. That's your task for the next hour or so before we get ready to leave.
Woohoo!
Sure, why not? Give it a go.
Let's see.
Everyone knows how to.
Oh, seriously? Well, I guess I spent
You
all
gotta
my
add-
luck last session, didn't I?
Do you
want to push
Want to push that? I
No.
absolutely want to push that.
No.
Ah.
She's got third-degree burns.
You've got a
Amazing.
success. You got a success. There's no
She should have got.
stress or anything.
She should have got 2 more dice as
Yeah.
well for having the right tools.
It's fine. Don't worry. Okay. Yes, you put it all together. It's yeah, it's serviceable. It's a bit crude, but yeah, not a problem. So trundle
So
along.
I'll take it to condition though, I guess, for the pushing.
Nope, nothing. It's all fine.
Okay.
I'm going to be generous today.
Aw.
No.
Oh,
Oh,
look,
that's,
it's a new
that's
Alaska.
what I get for having been on time, right?
Yeah.
New Alaska hot tub.
That comes later.
So remember that you don't need to. You can get rid of all your stress. You can get rid of all any damage you've taken.
Getting rid of
Anything
stress.
ish like you can get rid of all that. It's fine. It's a nice new day, and yeah. You trundle about 5 hours, and you come to the spot that you geolocated last time. It's not howling winds and blizzards. It's actually a little bit easier to spot. Now that you actually can see the landscape, it's not just snow, there's also ice. It looks almost like icebergs, which are kind of like floating in the snow. So you've got these large chunks of ice that kind of rise out of the snow. And so, yeah, you can stop there. You can tell me what you're going to do. How you're going to get this chunk of metal out.
I guess to start with, we'll uncover whatever we can. We don't know if it's a container or a part of a ship or just a small ammo box type thing. I don't know if we can do any like seismic stuff to try and figure out how big it is submerged with the pumps.
You don't really have anything like that to do. No, you don't have it. You need some kind of actual proper
Fine.
tool to allow that, which you don't
Then
have.
I guess a bit of elbow grease and a very long, narrow piece of rebar to kind of hammer down and find out dimensions. And if it's too big, then
Sure.
obviously we'll leave it.
Are you all going to go out and do it, or are you going to take it in turns? Or what's the plan?
So first off, we should definitely go in pairs. One person who's armed and on the lookout for ice worms, because we know this is how you get ice worms.
True.
And the first thing I'd like to do is I'd like to make an observation roll to understand the, I guess, ice geology.
Ooh,
what
ice
is the-
geology
like-
roll?
You mentioned something about how it looks like icebergs of ice in the ice, which is just a lot of ice.
Yeah, so
What
The la-
it makes me think about is this like a crust of ice and there's liquid or semi-liquid underneath? Or
Glacial.
yeah, it's glacial is probably the best way to describe it. So you've got obviously the snow is covering, which you would in fact make a roll. Make a spotting glacial roll. Okay,
Well,
so that's fine.
that was not much use, was it?
Can't push it, I'm afraid. But yeah, you kind of trying to understand the geography of it. The best way you can kind of see it is that clearly you're on an ice shelf. The snow and the ash have kind of mixed over the years and kind of created a blanket. And you would assume that at some point this is part of the glacier that's kind of been up the top, but it's for whatever reason during the many thousands of years, it's obviously got slightly warmer in the planet, which has then caused it to melt away, which leaving these exposed rocks. Well, rocks, ice. Bergs is the best way to describe them. So you've essentially got furrows that run through. It probably was at one point at the height of some of the icebergs, but having
Geologically speaking, this is pretty interesting.
Hmm.
There's a lot of geology going on here.
There is a lot of geology going on. You thought you'd say that in a role-playing game. So yes, there's a lot of that kind of thing.
I'm sure the company wants to know if there's like oil or uranium, but
They probably do.
next best thing is I can tell you where there's a fuckload of ice.
Yeah. So yeah, so you would imagine that whatever's under, is kind of buried in ice anyway.
Mhm.
So you could probably clear away the top level of snow to reveal the hardened ice underneath, which is what you found the object in or sticking out of.
All right, excellent.
So, guess we turn over to the resonant kit.
Yes.
Ed,
Come
just
on,
very, very quickly.
Human bulldozer.
Yeah, sure.
Can you just hit spacebar and take the pause thing off?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah,
No problem.
I always forget about that.
Beep.
I would do it if my. There you go.
Thank you.
Beep.
My mistake. Oops. Okay. So, Chris, what is the plan with melting it or moving
Yeah,
it?
I was thinking that like we suggested, using the exhaust, I guess, or the coolant.
Yep.
And funneling that onto the ice.
Okay, you don't have to make a roll for that. Just requires.
Is that
you
heavy
to-
machinery again?
No, actually, I think it'll be stamina.
Ooh, okay.
Finally, into your wheelhouse.
Look
There we
at
go.
that. I can do stamina.
Stand back, I've got this.
Hell yeah.
Must be nice to be young.
Yeah.
Yeah, if only for these things.
Yes, you managed to kind of. It's basically about controlling the exhaust and essentially your pressure washer.
Mhm.
Thanks,
You,
Habib. Great idea.
to kind of move around the object. And as you're doing that, you're kind of making it. You're kind of removing more of it. And as you're removing more of it, could you all please make an observation?
Three.
Two.
There seems to be a lot of successes there. We like all of those. Okay, for those that actually succeeded, some of you succeeded well, you realize that someone has already been starting to do some work around this item. Which kind of makes you think, hang on, wait a second, this isn't in the same. You kind of like roughly chipped away at it before to try and get as much information as you could so you can take pictures. But actually, there's been more work done, and as soon as you kind of like realize that, you kind of look around, and you can see a little bit further on next to one of these icebergs, there's actually, it doesn't quite look right. So if anyone wants to go and actually wander over there, it's probably about 200 meters away from where you are at the moment.
Ice worms, heavy gravity.
Go in pairs.
Yeah,
Five,
exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Is it work that's done to cover it or uncover it?
You can't really tell. It doesn't quite look quite right, but you kind of like, there's something going on there. It looks like maybe work has been done or chipped away at the iceberg or something.
We should take a look, but let's
just try-
take the snowcat. Yeah.
I was going to say, like, isn't this sort of isn't this the moment for another ice worm hunting scenario where I could just walk inside the trap?
If you want me to do that, Chris, I'm more than happy to do that.
I mean, seriously,
Do you not want to play
somebody's
anymore?
got to walk.
What do the
Somebody's got
viewers
to
want?
walk for. Somebody's got to walk for 200 meters. I still got to go make my mom proud after the fuck ups of the last time that I was here. I
I think your mum will be proud if parts of you are not devoured.
Well, parts of me probably won't be. I mean, that's what the trap is for, and that worked so well. I mean, the bungee thing might break my ribs, granted. If the miners can do it, I can do it. God damn it!
You know what? Do it on your own time. This is business time.
All right then. Sorry, Jean-Michel, I was being rash.
Yeah, you'll get back into the snowcat. Drive the 200 meters to the iceberg. And you get to the iceberg, you get out of the snowcat, and you can see that someone else has had probably a similar idea. They have started to drill, or at least make a hole into the actual ice. And you can see that they've covered it over with a netting or something, which has then collected the snow and the ash, but somehow it's kind of got slightly loose, which is why you noticed it looked not quite right. When you actually get out to have a look, you can see that when you move it, you've got probably, I don't know, roughly door-shaped size hole, which has been cut into the ice. The sides are quite smooth, so it looks like it's used some kind of heat machine of some sort.
Cool.
And it's kind of probably gone about maybe 30 meters at an angle downwards.
Where in the hell was this equipment when we were back at the station?
They must have equipment like this around
Maybe it
here
didn't come
somewhere.
from the
Just
station.
So I think we got a pup, right? We can send a pup in.
Yeah, you said one of your pups in.
yeah, I'm definitely not up for going down there.
You, Jean-Michel, you release your pup, and the pup goes down, and yes, it automatically turns up on your PDA, and you can see it is door-shaped, goes about 30 meters, and then the pup kind of registers that probably another 30 meters further, there is a solid object through the ice.
So 60 meters away, there's a solid.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
60 meters into the interior of the iceberg, it
Indeed.
comes to a dead end.
Yeah.
Well, with a solid object.
Well, there's a solid object.
The solid object mean the wall?
No. So 30 meters takes you to the end of the ice. So where the ice corridor ends, and then your pup can tell you that there's ice for another 30 meters after that. And then after the 30 meters, it actually hits a solid object.
The tunnel is only 30 meters long.
Yeah, the tunnel's only 30 meters long.
Aha.
And then another 30 meters past the tunnel, if you were to keep tunneling,
Right.
you hit a solid object.
Oh, so it's distinguishing between solid object and solid ice.
Yes.
Ah.
Clever pup.
Sorry, I was thinking that ice was solid.
That's what I meant. Sorry.
That's interesting.
Well, it depends. I guess the metal will reflect differently to frozen water, wouldn't it?
Probably.
Same
Different
as
density.
liquid.
That's for damn
exactly.
sure.
Well, we can't. We have no equipment to dig 30 meters through the ice. So it's interesting. We'll have to grab some equipment. Maybe at the remote mining station we can find something.
Well,
Back.
it also means that any salvage rights are probably off the bet, so probably not even worth it.
Yeah. Somebody
If
else.
it's frozen this deep under the ice, it could be a significant archaeological find.
Possibly, but well, look
Yep.
it. Someone's either already found it, or realised it's not worth the hassle, or has marked it for possible future exploration. And if we go messing around too much, that could be a lawsuit on our hands.
It's interesting that word you just said there, Kai. Exploration. Very interesting word you just said there. Because aren't we an exploration team?
Somehow I was sure you were going to focus on lawsuit.
All right, but then if you're going to do that, then you've got to do it properly. You've got to get rid of any evidence that someone was here first.
Well, we'll have a discussion about that, I guess.
Have you
and
got-
think about it.
You know what?
We can't do anything now.
Can I just go around and take a bunch of Polaroids?
Yeah. We need to like mark where it is and everything. We don't know who is here either, so I think we need to maybe try and ask, perhaps subtly, if the other exploration team were
Possible.
digging
Possible,
around
yeah.
here. And maybe have a look in the remote mining station if there's any equipment that could possibly do this.
Well, interesting enough as well, we mentioned it in the debrief, and they didn't say anything about it. So,
yeah,
makes me think there's more going on to this.
It's either ignorance or bullshit. Doesn't that describe everything?
Yeah, that's life.
I'm trying not to use player knowledge here of corporations sending guinea pigs to a planet where they believe there to be. Anyway, I'll stop right there.
Oh, but
I don't know what you're talking about.
Jack couldn't we're all colleagues here, right? The other team couldn't just be doing this in their own time. We're all loyal LaSalle employees, aren't we?
Of course we are. Of course we are. Nobody would say otherwise, I'm sure.
For the record, yes.
Yeah, technically.
Legal reasons.
Legally, yes.
I mean, there is nobody on this planet who's not a LaSalle employee. Is there? I mean, apart from the weird android lady that we shot up?
And the other person that may be working for someone else that she was going to meet.
Hold on. There's another thing. Maybe the data packet X1345, whatever it was, is the information that LaSalle have found out about whatever this is that Whale and Chitani are after.
Oh,
because
no
one
Let's have
digs.
this conversation not on the ice.
Fair point.
Let's go back into the snowcat to have this conversation.
Right.
Standing around wagging chins in sub-zero temperatures is a terrible idea.
It's only -12. It's possibly balmy. Should we suck this off then? And
Yeah, while I agree, it's again ice worms.
Is that something moving over there?
just Elizabeth.
Maybe it's just a snow flurry.
All right, let's get back in and head on.
We're back.
It'll be fine.
Can I do a sensor sweep of the area within the
What are you
snowcat,
looking for?
something like that?
What kind of stuff are you trying to look for?
Just around to see if there's like any kind of equipment that's metal deposits very close to the surface, where potentially some heavy machinery might have been stored with like a tarp over it that's collected snow, something like that. That maybe something like that might be able to pick up. Because we're talking about something pretty heavy duty trying to do that, and it's possible it might still be here.
She rolled over and hasn't.
Make a Comtech roll.
Well, I'll get somebody else to do it.
You do a sense of the area.
I've got. I mean, my Comtech is 4 with wits and 1 Comtech, but I'm sure I could help somebody else. I'll be happy to state, like, let's do
Elizabeth
a sweep.
is happy to do it if you want.
Sure. Can I give her like a helping bonus? Telling her what
No,
I want.
it's really just.
Right, whatever. Yeah. I'll roll.
Yeah.
I'm happy to roll too,
Yeah, it's up to you.
because I might want to bump my Comtech up, so I gotta roll it, right?
Go on then. There we go.
Hey.
Lovely. Yeah, you do a search of the area, which means you have to actually drive the snowcat around a little bit. It's not one of those ping and it shows up everything else. You drive around probably about 10 minutes. And yeah, you do actually find exactly what you're looking for. There has actually been machinery that has been placed and hidden in sort of like some kind of like bio-metal structure that's not too far away.
Let's drive over to it, and I'd like to have a look, see if there's any corporate markings on the equipment.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, you drive over to it. It's probably it's actually not that far from the iceberg itself.
I wouldn't have thought so. Yeah.
It's probably another 150 or so meters away, and it's actually been dug down into the ice. So the snow has kind of like covered it at sort of ankle height. So but the only way you would have found it was exactly the way you're looking for it. And yeah, you do find it. You kind of move it away, and it's obviously probably been there for a while. There's quite a lot of snow and ash. You find sort of like the opening to it. You kind of clear out sort of like some steps that go down a bit. And are you all going to do that? Or are some of you going to wait around? There's going to be a couple of you. What's the plan?
I'm definitely
I'm staying up top.
Okay.
Kit, do you want to come with me?
Absolutely. I wonder if there's got to be like a serial number or something on whatever that is that will identify it.
Well, you're a machinery expert, so yeah.
You're the one that likes carrot cake.
Cool. The other two stay in build with Snowcat, and you two. I mean, Elizabeth is happy to come with you if you wanted to, or she's happy to stay on board. She'll do whatever you require, Jack.
At this stage, it's kind of there's a little bit of doubt going through my head, and Elizabeth is biocell property.
Well, tell you what,
so I'm just
if you need the electronic thing done, I can do that and let Elizabeth hang back for medical purposes if need be.
Sure. Absolutely happy to do that.
might be
Because
worth taking
I'm
a
not
pop-
an organic mechanic.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not imagining it's going to be like a tunnel or anything. It's just going to be a little dugout with some equipment in it. I'm imagining. Anyway,
Okay.
what do we find?
So yeah, as you said, it's kind of a bit like a large shed, which has been dug down into the ice, and it's got roofs and sides and a floor. And inside there is probably about 5 or 6 different pieces of machinery. Chris, anyone who's got heavy machinery, will know that there's a plasma cutter, which is sort of stands about sort of on a 4 foot tall and kind of can be, normally it's wheeled around on sort of like on wheels. This has been retrofitted to have like a sled, and you can, when you fire it, you can make the aperture quite high, probably a maximum about the same size as a doorway.
I wonder if we could use this to finish the tunnel with.
There's also a couple of other mining machinery for cutting and for braking, and sort of there's also a small mini conveyor belt which will allow you to take ice away from wherever you're looking at, and it's modular, so you could like build it out. So you'd assume that's the kind of thing they would have used to kind of move some of the rubble, or in this case some of the ice. And if you have a look around, it all has LaSalle Bionational logos on it.
Well, I guess this is the moment to take a few more Polaroids.
Yeah.
Everything has that nice sheen of ice over everything.
How long does it normally take for that sheen of ice to cover things? Do we have a rough idea?
Probably if it's really, really low temperature, probably not more than a few days at most.
A few days, okay. And how long has this other expedition team or exploration team been?
They've been there 8 days.
Makes sense.
They've been at the same time as us, right? And all they've been doing is they went out with us in that initial sweep, and then they did the cargo recovery.
We don't really know what they were doing, though.
We have no idea what we're doing.
That's what they've reported.
Now we're
that
getting
they've
an
been doing.
idea.
That's what they said they've been doing.
I mean, I fully suspect this is them because they're the only other ones who've been out that we know of. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
I mean,
you've got there.
we can either the options are we basically stop here for a bit and dig 30 meters deeper, however long that takes. I don't think we should do that necessarily. Can we bring the plasma torch into the snowcat with us?
Yeah, you'd be able to do that.
I think any of the other. I mean, the snowcat's pretty big, right?
Yeah. I
It's
mean,
got
you'll fit
quite a
it
bit of
in
storage.
the back.
Can we put everything that's there in the back?
You could probably put everything in there in the back.
I mean, we're heading to the remote mining station anyway, so we can unload it there if we need to.
Yep.
There's no reason why the second exploration team is going to look in this snowcat. So, yeah. I'm kind of trying to hamper their ability to dig any deeper because if there's something to be found, I want to be the one to find it, and they've not called it in. So you know,
well, instead of putting
They
ourselves
don't have an
in,
official claim if they haven't called it in.
instead of putting ourselves in an awkward position, why not just disable it, take out an essential component or two, then we're not caught with anything.
that's a good idea. I guess.
I mean,
we
it's
need
going to take
somebody...
us hours. It's going to take hours to manhandle that into the back of the snowcat and then unload it at the other end, and they're going to be there when we get there.
Yeah,
They're probably still
what I was
waiting for
saying
us.
is like we can wait to unload it until they leave because they're not going to look in our snowcat.
Oh no, I know that, but we're
yeah.
already 2 hours overdue there as it is.
All right, that's a good idea. Good thing we have a heavy machinery expert to
So do you want me to just disable the
plasma
plasma
cutter.
cutter or any of the other things as
Just
well?
a plasma. If they can't use a plasma cutter, they're not going to be digging, right? So that's probably all we need.
That's fine. Yeah, you won't need to make a roll for that.
Is
That's
there
fine.
is there like a small portable part that we can just pinch, like the
Yep.
plasma cell or something?
Yeah, you just kind of like take a connector or something. You can just, not a problem. You do that
One that you know that's hard to find replacement parts for, ideally,
Yeah, exactly.
or
something
hard to
that's
jury
not...
rig.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, okay. I'll tell you what. For that, you can make a machinery roll, heavy machinery roll.
Yeah. All right.
Yep, that's fine.
That's yeah. I guess it
Yeah.
wasn't that complicated, right?
No, and you get one for each of the parts, so you're not going to be able to use any of the parts. And you've got sort of a handful of parts to take with you. Yeah, that's fine. You
This
make
is,
your way, presumably, to the remote mining station.
This is where someone says, Frost, you got that duty. Open the bag.
Okay. You carry on your merry way to the remote mining station.
Yeah.
Cool.
Do not like this place.
The infamous map.
Okay. You arrive probably about an hour and 45 minutes overdue. Yeah, as you get closer, presumably contact the remote mining base, and they respond back. Joey says, welcome back. You're obviously within radio range now. We'll see you in the next half hour or so. We're just finishing our packing up. When you arrive, I've handily placed your snowcat where you park. And there is another snowcat waiting for you, which is, they look like they're just finishing loading the odd bits and pieces on. Joey says, hey, welcome back.
Hey guys.
Hey.
How's things going?
Oh, you know, we've just been having some downtime. Shot a
Fell out of the fucking sky on this piece of shit planet about a week ago, and it was shit.
Oh, but ice worm hunting.
Yeah, caught an ice worm. Tastes pretty good.
Nice.
There might be some
There's been a
snakes
couple
around
around
here. Yeah.
These do not
Brilliant.
taste good.
Amazing.
What have you been up to?
Well, mostly ferrying the stuff back and forth from the debris field. We had a couple of days just relaxing. It's a lot of hard work. It's been some really bad weather up here.
Okay. Find anything interesting?
Yeah, we've got loads of stuff. So he basically rattles through a list of the various supplies that he's managed to get hold of. And actually, we've managed to secure, the big thing was managing to secure some food. Actually, there was quite a bit of food in storage, which somehow managed to survive the fall from the crashing Houston, which they've done. They found spare parts and other things which they're going to take back as well. They haven't found any other bodies yet.
Okay.
Maybe we'll be the lucky ones.
Yeah.
They've had a couple of close calls with some ice worms, but no one's been hurt.
That's good.
Alana managed to.
Well, Ed, can you hear us, Ed?
Sounds like your mic cut out.
Your mic's cut out. Yeah.
The universal
Alright.
symbol of hold on 1 second, I'm going to see if I can figure this one out.
Oh dear.
Tonight's
Come
cursed.
back, Ed.
It's because Ed planned to introduce us to a new.
May I
NPC
present to
today.
you my shrine to the Wi-Fi spirits?
Oh my goodness.
Nice.
I love
He's got a
this.
Wi-Fi symbol and,
I
an
like it.
all-seeing eye and a
Wow.
place to put your tea light.
That's
Should,
adorable.
Adapt it to be the Eye of Sauron with the Wi-Fi going up.
Yeah, you could definitely adapt it to be the Arrow Saruman if you just intimidate your Wi-Fi into proper function.
Exactly.
Yes, I'm back.
Ah,
All right.
He's now in,
Hold
he's
on.
now in the wrong place.
We're all in the wrong place for the videos. So
Sorry.
yeah, no, that's fine. It happens. I've put us on the technical difficulties just because there's going to be a lot of wiggling of videos around, but they can hear us, so we're still.
Okay, that's
So,
cool.
There's a technical difficulties thing on screen, but Ed, I guess you can keep talking while I'm just fixing that very quickly.
Yep, no problem. Yeah, so they've had a go at a couple of the ice worms, but they've not actually managed to kill any. They all managed to disappear off before they managed to finish doing that. Kat's very interested with them, and so she's wanting to study them, but they've not really had the chance to do that. So they've worked pretty much non-stop getting the stuff from the debris field back here to the mining station, and then filling up the snow cap. They take you into the facility, and they bring you into the cargo ops, which is their place. They're actually storing everything. And there is a lot of storage boxes and things they've managed to salvage from the debris field, and so they're just using this as the storage area.
Guys, been busy. Well done.
Yeah, well, it's been hard work, but there's still loads more to pick up. So I'm sure you'll keep yourself busy for a while.
One way,
Yeah.
keep one.
So as you can tell, we've put the fire on, so it's a little bit warmer for you. So cargo ops, workshops, commercial ops, and crew quarters have all got power. We don't have any. There's no power or anything going to the various mines or the refineries. Obviously, we've not needed to use any of those, so we've not got anything going on there. So that should hopefully keep you going.
All right,
Sounds good.
cool. Well, we'll get straight back. Have a bit of downtime around some other people. Enjoy some ice worm steaks.
Sounds very nice. Kit, we understand that you managed to create something to catch them.
yeah, I sure did. Loads of fun too. Let
They-
the mining guys show you.
Great. Well, maybe we'll
They,
give that a go then.
They had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
You have to beat our record. What was it? 2.9 meters, I think.
Yep.
I think that's a challenge well accepted. They're all like, yeah, we could do that.
I'm sure you'll get a much bigger ice worm. I hear they can get to be like 8 meters long.
Well, maybe we'll get you some steaks.
I think it's all in your choice of bait.
Yeah. 8 meters of ice worm is probably going to produce a fair bit of ice worm flesh.
Well,
So
Well,
it's a
I
lot
might
like
need a
low
bigger
quality
truck,
lobster.
well, I think maybe we can try that out. What do you reckon, Scott? Scott's like, what?
Ice worm
Yeah, I can do
thermidor.
sounds like a
Where are we
good
going to get the cheese
plan.
sauce from, though?
Well, they just found a bunch of food.
I'm not sure if we've got any cheese sauce in this. Well,
You milk ice worms?
I don't know. Like, do we have Kraft mac and cheese? Just take the cheese powder out of that.
Potentially.
Go through all the MREs and find all the cheese sauce.
But then, of course, somebody's got to eat a bunch of bear pasta.
Oh, shame! I'm starving and I've got no cheese sauce in my pasta.
Well, guess I'm gonna die.
Yeah, they seem very happy to see you. They're all very kind of happy to be able to leave this place. They say that, yeah, it's...
Is there anything we should know before you guys go? Like, anything been wonky playing up that we should look into?
Yeah. Anything wants fixing?
You probably look at the power plant. I guess that's... Every now and then it kind of like has a bit of a judder, but it seems fine otherwise.
Very good.
We've had a look at it. We can't see any real issues with it. So, I mean, we're not exactly skilled for that sort of thing. We could just about maybe fix like the axle or something. I don't know about the power plants themselves. So, no idea.
You telling me that they don't send nuclear engineers to far-flung planets?
Well, if they do, it's not us. It's not really our. It's not really our bag. Anyway, there's plenty of food, which will keep you going for a while. There's a hollow suite which you could use. So there's plenty of things to listen to watch or listen. I guess that'll keep you occupied when you're not working.
Do our vehicles have any sort of like GPS type of thing on them that keeps their position in case they go missing or something?
Yeah, there is.
Is there a way for us to track where their snowcat goes when they leave? Or we have to hack into one of the like system computers and
you'd probably get into the mainframe.
Outpost.
Yeah, you'd have to. Yeah, you'd have to go into the mainframe and then uplink to the station, then be able to lift it that way.
Okay, would the main headquarters be able to tell where I was looking? Would I know that?
Not if you were crafty.
Not if you were crafty. I like that. Yeah.
Not if I was really skilled with Comtech, right?
Yeah, if you're really good at Comtech, you'd probably be great at that.
I know
If
exactly
only we had somebody who was any good.
I would say, one success gets you the information you want. The 2 successes allows you to cover your tracks.
If only we had somebody who had a wits of 5 and a 2 in Comtech.
If only.
Yeah, but I'm busy with all this ice stuff. Look, I've got like dozens of Polaroids of ice.
Sounds like you've got your priorities all a little bit skewed.
Maybe Elizabeth can help you sort through those. I'm sure she's really good at pattern recognition.
Yeah. Oh, look, here's a blue one. Oh, here's a green one.
Elizabeth is happy to help you with anything you want.
All right. So I'll roll like a Comtech roll, and we'll see how we go.
Okay. No.
Fuck, useless is what that is.
Okay.
We're rolling a bit too quick here. I wanted to help. I don't know if that's possible or not.
Well, you
you'd
should have
also
said
get
something.
+2, the right set of tools.
Yeah.
You're the right
me,
set of tools.
No, I'm just a tool.
If you roll me 2 more dice.
I think if you click on
Harry, if you
just click on your strength, and that should roll just 2 dice for your strength.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Legend.
Look at that.
That'll do. So yes, you can, but no, you don't hide your own tracks. So, so you wait for them to kind of wander off. First thing you do, run over to the consoles.
I mean, how far? I guess that's the question: is how far away is the dig we were just at from the station?
Well, let me tell you now.
Map.
You go to planet map. Let's get the measuring device out.
Halfway between the research facility and the remote mining station.
Okay, all right. Mystery vessel. Oh. Okay, all right. So it's a vessel, is it?
There you go.
I was more interested in the geothermal pools. Spa time.
All right.
You know, funnily enough, that's not the first time that's come up this week in my conversations. Geothermal pools seem to be on
So what was
people's
the
minds a lot.
how do we do the measurement thing? That one.
So it is currently 158.11 kilometers away from the remote mining station.
158 kilometers. Okay. So we're talking. I'm imagining these snowcats with the terrain and everything else are probably going about tops 30, 40, 50 kilometers an hour, something like that.
If it took us from the research facility to the remote mining station, it took us around about 8 hours.
So that's going.
Did
and
it?
that's
8
300
hours?
Yeah, about
Okay.
8 hours it took you. That's
Right.
316 kilometers.
So it's gonna take like half that roughly to get to the mystery vessel.
Yeah, it'd take you
So
about
there's
2 or 3 hours.
There's
to
no
kind of
rush
get there.
to hack and find where they're going. But it'd be nice to see if they're diverting off the course slightly
Yep,
to go there.
that's fine. Yeah, so you're gonna you kind of like start to settle in, and then you kind of give it an hour or two,
Yeah, I think
and then
we can be
and
doing
then
other
Harry-
things, and then we can just kind of keep an eye on it a bit.
yeah. So Harry, you're going to track them. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
In the meantime, can we have a look around the?
You can.
There's a couple of things I'd like to do in the remote mining station that I've just thought of.
Well, let me give you a brief run around of the area. You have the cargo landing pad, which is for the skiff shuttles. Underneath it, it's a 2-story building. Underneath it, you've got maintenance hangars for snowcats. Cargo ops is the main kind of operations area for anything coming and going in regards to cargo. And in there, you've got the mainframe, workshops, computer systems. If you follow that through in south, you kind of come through a whole load of piping and passageways. If you were to hang
Left.
right
Okay.
or left if you're looking at it, you'll go to the power plant systems, which is the main generator for the plant and all the machinery. If you kept going south or to the bottom of the map, you come across the workshops, which down here.
Yeah.
If you were to carry on going through the workshops, you would be able to come to, or if you went around, you would come to the commercial ops and the shuttle pad. And then if you would go further below that, you go to the crew quarters. And then the rest of the south parts of it, you've got medbay, you've got mother units, you've got R&R at the bottom down here, and that's sort of like where everyone eats. The galley is, and then on the right hand side of the map, you've got all the refinery and mines and everything that, as far as
Yeah.
Expedition Beta said, is all kind of like shut off. There's no one going into it. It's just all kind of,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, they're not using it at the
probably
moment.
need to be used. Yeah,
Can I go check out the deep chasm?
of course you can.
I was also curious about Deep Chasm. Like,
Everybody wants that.
I'm a geologist. Do I want to? If you ask a geologist, "Hey man, do you want to see like a big old hole in the ground?" Like, what do you think he's gonna say?
And I'm an explorer,
please.
so that's the same thing for me. It's like, yeah.
Okay.
Like,
While those guys were off gallivanting around, me and Elizabeth are looking at the manifest, getting the maps out, and trying to figure out the most efficient route for picking up all this next cargo over the next 8 days. Like doing our jobs.
that's right. Good. You do your jobs. We'll do ours.
All right, yeah. It's you kind of like, you know,
I'm a
probably
geologist, not a manual handler.
The first 2 or 3 hours, you're like, oh, deep chasm. What's that?
Turns out it's chasm, and it's deep.
It says what it says on the tin. Yeah, you kind of come along. You've got just here. You've got like a railing, and there is a large sort of like mesh over the top of the deep chasm.
Cool.
And it's all kind of, it says danger, beware, etc., etc.
Don't climb onto the mesh.
Health and safety here. That's what it says. And it says keep out. When you get closer to it, there is this horrible, awful whining noise, which it sounds like it's kind of a mixture of the wind and whatever else is down there. And you can see that obviously at some point this was some kind of borehole or a couple of boreholes, which they have done some drilling, and it looks like at some point they'd got through the ice to the bedrock, and the bedrock had collapsed, leaving a deep chasm.
Collapsed into what?
Well, into whatever was below it.
Just a void?
A void. That's Well, that's what you can tell. I mean, if you spend some time looking at mainframes, I'm sure that you'll be able to look at the history behind the deep chasm and anything.
The chasm.
We could do that another time. I think it was more a case of just seeing what it
Hey,
was.
what's this?
What was the nature of
Hey
it?
Jack, you were thinking that maybe the B team's holding out on us.
Well,
They did point out that absolutely nobody goes into the mines, and there's no reason at all for anyone to go into the mines.
You want to go into the mines? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, pretty much.
We've got time.
My suggestion is that if you were going to hide something that you didn't want the A team to find, where would you hide it?
In a makeshift shed under the ice. Or in a mine where they're telling us there's nothing happening because we're not a mining crew.
What are you doing while they're?
Why don't you just in case they've left a nasty surprise? Why don't you send a pup through?
That
check
was
out
my
the mines?
plan.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna spend a little while getting the pups to map the mines and see if there's anything interesting in there. But
Okay.
seeing as they're gonna be doing that on their own for a while, I'll go do other stuff while they're doing it.
Sure. Chris, what is Kit gonna do?
I was half hoping that Kai might have something interesting for me to do.
So Kai and Elizabeth have gone through the manifest, seeing what's there, just trying to figure out, what they've got, what they can do with it. They'll start compiling. They're basically doing all the admin and court mastery stuff, which I'm sure they're more than happy for you to help with.
No, I've definitely got a plan for her.
Okay.
Oh dear. I mean, if nothing else, I guess I'd be happy for some downtime, silly tinkering, because I'm sure this place is just bursting to the seams with interesting hardware I've not seen in a good long while or never. I'm sure that there's all sorts of interesting stuff to be built.
I've got a little idea before that. On the map, there's a Colonial Marshal and Commercial Ops section.
Ooh.
In the Colonial Marshal office, I'm assuming there will be a possibility of a firearm of some sort we could use to get her tooled up, and I can give her a quick brief.
Okay. So if you
It looks like there's a sort of a chamber to the south of the Colonial Marshal.
there is.
Mm.
And there looks like there's
Didn't hear her, sorry.
I can't ping it on the map, but there's like a star shape and what looks like a medkit looking symbol. Yeah, right there. I'm guessing that'll be the Colonial Marshal's office, and then behind that, further south along that pipe, is well, that looks like a targeting reticle, and if there's going to be guns, I'd imagine it's there.
Good spot. Good spot.
And off to Commercial Ops, to the west, you see the eye-shaped symbol. If I'm guessing, then I'd probably say that if there's any internal CCTV, it'll be observation will be there.
Cool. Good spine. Yes. Let's see. You kind of make your way to the Commercial Ops and Colonial Marshal. It says Colonial Marshal, but it's actually site security. And yeah, exactly as you found. Just to let you know, these things here, squares with the black and green square, is a main airlock. And it's actually a secured airlock, so it'd be difficult to get through if it was locked, which this is not. Yes, this is indeed the marshal's office.
Excellent.
And indeed below that is the armory.
So if they have a sidearm or a pistol or something else there,
The armory is locked.
can we request who might have the authority for it? Would Elizabeth?
No, you would have to.
He's security, probably, right?
Yeah, you'd have to have security clearance, which none of you have.
Okay.
Maybe
well.
you can get Elizabeth to give you security clearance. It
We-
probably works
we
like
know,
that.
We know there's an armory there. If we need
Can I
weapons,
open
we
the
can...
door with my cutting torch?
Whoa,
No.
whoa,
You
could do-
whoa, whoa,
Just
whoa.
looks
Going
away.
down that way.
You could do if you wanted to.
You could
Do you
be
know
That's
what your
my
bonus?
job.
Do you know? Did it get
Someone
paid?
might get sacked though.
I will actually ask Elizabeth to put a request through that we have the facilities here. There's a firing range. We have some time. It'll be advisable to get one of our trusted team members prepped on firearms, at least to a basic range. I've been frozen. No, I'm gonna do that. Seeing as she was involved in combat before, and it'll be nice for her to be able to defend herself if needs arose. If they're not willing to let her have the firearm, can we at least take one out, do some practice, and check it back in again?
I can ask.
Thank you.
She wanders off to Mother,
You're stunningly
Jeez.
reasonable today.
which is here.
Is there a shuttle on the pad?
There is no shuttle on the pad.
There's no shuttles here at all. Okay.
No. Nice try.
I guess while we're waiting, we might as well just go and spy on the rest of these guys by using the CCTV unit.
Okay. So yes, the CCTV is off, and you'll have to fix it.
Gosh
Yeah.
darn it.
It hasn't worked, but that's not a problem. I'm sure a little bit of a few hours of your time and a judicious roll would probably work. In the meantime, you kind of make yourself available around, doing all bits and pieces. That kind of like takes you sort of like a good half a day to kind of do all that. Harry, you wanted to kind of obviously map the mines.
Yep. As I understand it, the pups they go off and they just relay information back to my pad, and
Yep.
they don't really need any extra attention until they're finished or something happens.
Yep, that's fine. So you can do that. You just you let them go, and they'll just kind of wander off. That is fine. Jack, what are you going to do?
I can't get out of my head that they didn't tell us about this thing. I suspect the not when I say them, I mean the other exploration team about the about their kind of illicit dig. We're aware that there's possibly a Weyland-Yutani mole on the planet. Possibly, it could be anyone, right? So the fact that they're kind of hiding that, they haven't really said anything about that, doesn't really speak too well of them. And I'm kind of curious what else they're hiding. So since Jean-Michel's kind of mentioned the mines and stuff, I'm probably kind of keen to. I mean, the pups are going to be scouting them out anyway, right?
Yeah.
That's probably what I'm going to be most interested in.
Okay. Well, you kind of wait for them to get to the mystery vessel, and they don't stop. They just keep going on.
Okay, interesting. Right. Okay.
And they don't make it. Then you lose contact with them, and then they've gone. So you can still follow the GPS all the way back to the actual research station, but they don't seem to be slowing down or doing anything like that.
Okay. That's interesting.
Leaving you to your devices here. So the pups, they come back with a detailed map of exactly what you've seen. And there is not much really that you can't not see. I mean, there's the three mines have got exactly what you'd expect to find in a mining colony operation.
Yep.
You've got all the right equipment, all the gear. Everything has been sort of left, and it doesn't look like it's been used for a long time.
Well, I'm glad that I didn't use my own personal time and walking ability.
Yeah, I mean, it is quite a large facility. There's quite a lot of mines, and most of it has kind of gone down into the ice and into the bedrock, which is what they're working on. And while you're doing that, you kind of have a look at the schedule. The last schedule for this, the last time the mine was used was just over a year ago. That was the last time this mine was actually used for any refinery or anything like that. It does get checked upon every sort of like 3 months, where they kind of turn the engine on, as it were, turn all the lights, check everything's fine, and it's usually someone's here for a couple of days and then they go back again.
Fair enough.
And that's happened sort of like 4 or 5 times, which
Must
kind
be
of
a
gives you
grim
an
ass
idea.
duty.
Oh yeah, it's rubbish. Take a snowcat out, go up there, turn everything on, make sure everything works.
Cold, spooky, abandoned mine for a couple of days on your side.
Yep. And then come back.
Well,
Sounds fun.
fair enough.
So that's what you've got. But at least you're not alone. So yeah, your day kind of takes you through all this. You get everything prepped. You kind of have a look at everything. You haven't had a response yet from Elizabeth, but you kind of have a good look around. The crew quarters seem adequate. There's plenty of spaces to sleep. There's a lot of racking, so you can pick on the bunk beds that kind of go 4 apiece. This could probably sustain a crew of up to about 35, 40 at any one time. It would be cramped conditions, but you know, it's what miners are used to. So yeah, it's it is eerie, spooky. Anything that isn't sort of commercial ops, workshops, cargo ops, or the actual crew quarters is cold. I mean, even if you're not sort of if you're not in any one of the main kind of like building areas, you're going through the corridors, everything's cold. It's probably about -1. So no running around in your gym jams while you're here. It's not a particularly nice place. It's a bit inhospitable. The nicest place that you probably have is commercial ops and crew quarters, where it sort of stays in a balmy sort of 12 to 15 degrees. That's pretty much it, really. I mean, you'll kind of get on with your day. The lights cycle into the night cycle.
Great.
Yeah.
Oof.
So it goes from sort of like daylight lights to sort of like emergency lighting, and the lighting that kind of turns on as you walk around it, so everything's automated. You know, want to save electricity.
It's just quite a large space, though, isn't it? And obviously, even commercial ops and crew quarters are quite widely spread about.
Yep.
Set aside crew quarters and way over by the shut bay. I know our suits have got like line of sight comms, but is there any way we could rig up something that's either base wide or
You'll see that you'll have.
I mean, I'm talking like yogurt pots and string if we need to.
No, you'll see that there is in any of the main areas there are comms units, so that's fine.
Okay.
And you could potentially link your PDAs to the comm unit and the mainframe here, and you'd be able to talk through that.
Yeah, we'll set that up.
That's fine. That's not a problem. So yes, you're all in contact while you're here. That doesn't work if you're in the mines, though. So yes, it's business as usual. Another day, another dollar, as they say. And yeah, it's,
can we just hold on 1 second? I'm getting an
Yeah.
error from YouTube that it's not receiving enough video
Oh,
to
dear.
maintain
Oh,
smooth
no
streaming.
problem.
Oh
And I couldn't record. Every time I tried recording, it was giving me an error message. So
no!
let's just wait. If anybody in the chat can just confirm if you can
Yeah.
still hear us, that would be good, because it looks to me like the video might still be running. Just give it a second for it's like a 10-second lag for them to hear that. Still got the error.
They seems to work fine so far.
Okay. Yep. The error's just gone away. It's giving me a warning now. But it yeah.
Odd.
Yep.
But at this point, it's just like a blinking red light that says problem.
I get a warning kind of all the way through that my bit rate isn't high enough for what YouTube wants, just because my internet's not great. And occasionally I get an error where it's not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming, whatever that means. So anyway, it's fine. The error has gone away. We're back to warnings.
That's
Okay, so if
That's
you've got
good.
a choppy YouTube video, nobody complain.
Is what it is.
Yeah.
Links will be filed directly in the bin.
So the rest of your day is pretty much get everything sorted, get everything squared away, make sure you've got food in where food needs to be, and you kind of make your beds and do everything else, and you just do what you're paid for. There's no point to go anywhere now. So I mean, it'll be up to you how much work you want to put into this. So that'll be down to whatever you want to do first thing.
I'm all for getting as much done as possible as soon as possible and getting back.
Yeah.
I think you've probably got the right idea. Do we want to be in spooky abandoned mineland for very long? No, not really.
The thing that you kind of get from the most thing is that when you kind of knock off and kind of go to bed, there is this slight howl that kind of like reverberates around the around the actual base, around the
Are you kidding me?
Nope. It's just there, just off the edge. You're hearing. You can just hear it, and it must obviously be coming from the deep chasm.
No.
But it seems to like kind of whirl around, even when you've kind of like closed all the doors. It's
First
just
thing
there.
tomorrow is we gotta have a good look in the deep chasm, folks.
I think we should go have a look right now.
Yeah, like
What if it's not howling?
whatever the heck
and
that
What if
is.
it's not howling later? Let's go have a look. It's probably quite
We
interesting.
could just broadcast some white noise to mute it out.
That's not gonna keep the ice worm zombie from eating
Where's
us
your spirit
overnight.
adventure? Kai.
Look, ice worm zombies doesn't make
It
any
crashed
sense.
with the Houston.
But you know what we should be aware of is if there's hostile life forms. If there's something else other than ice worms that makes howling noises, we should probably be aware of it.
You're also paranoid.
See?
Come on, look, there's airlocks all three sides of that. Not in some cases more than one between there and here. You guys just got spooked. I told you shouldn't have gone down there.
I'm not spooked. I want to go check it out. Right. I'm gonna go on my own then. Why don't you
don't
send a
need to
pup?
go on your own. I
send a
want to go
pup.
too.
Yeah, all right. We'll both go. We'll send a pup with us. You can have a look if you want to see what we see.
Also, going on your own is goddamn idiotic.
So you've all kind of like got to bed after having some nice food.
Yeah, and
Kind
you're
of
just
got
like,
yourself
"Oh,
down,
fuck."
you're just like laying there for a couple of hours, well, an hour or two. Right, I'm going to get up. I'm going to go and have a look at it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just
Yeah,
be like, well.
Have
fuck
you never
this.
woken up like 2 hours after you've gone to sleep because there's a funny noise and you go to investigate in your house?
In my house.
Yeah.
Who
Or
hasn't
in my
done that?
residence, or in my room,
Yeah.
or where my sink is dripping, or the partner is snoring, but
Oh god,
not
yeah,
in a wild, deep chasm in the middle of an ice frozen planet in a refinery that's been shut down for the last 4 years.
I'm purely so this is me acting to my character, right? I have I'm kind of I've what was my let me just bring it up. Signature item, is it called in this? Or is it called something else?
Signature item.
My signature item is a a fossilized organism that I discovered and it has my name associated with it. That I've got like fossilized in a piece of like plexiglass type of thing, plastic glass, and I carry it around with me. And I'm just probably thinking the same thing. Like I've been on more hazardous planets. This could be something exciting. This could be a new discovery. And yeah, I'm not too. I'll take a weapon with me because I have a sidearm. I think. Don't I?
You're the guy in the horror movies that walks down the corridors in darkness with no shoes on and just a broken flashlight for company.
Well, I've got a shotgun, so there's that.
And Jean-Michel.
I'm going to take a pup with me, so I've got that. I've got a drone.
So,
No. You
Jean-Michel's
can't
coming
take.
with me, right?
You can't take my pups. Like
so you are going with Jean-Michel and the pups.
like these pups are they are my property.
So
you can't just can't take the damn thing.
I'm not taking him. You're going to come with me. You said, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why.
So the idea is you send them ahead of us as we're walking, just to be safe. So they're kind of like the scouts scouting the way ahead of us.
Okay.
Just in case something's crawled out of the deep chasm.
Okay. Chris, what are you going to do? They're all getting up to go and wander off the chasm.
I'm not going to be able to sleep with a weird noise until I know what it is. Don't you guys have any curiosity?
I'd love to go, but I'm a bit conflicted by the fact that Kai thinks it's a shit idea.
Kai's got lots of great ideas, but not everyone's a winner.
Depends what Kai's going to do.
Kai rolls over, plugs his headphones back in, and sleeps with his gun under the pillow.
Come on, Kit.
Yeah.
Why don't you
Yeehaw.
come with us?
We've got Elizabeth to wake us if things go wrong.
Yeah.
Elizabeth says...
Kai'll be fine here. Elizabeth's staying with Kai. Right, Elizabeth?
Okay. I'll do that then.
Yeah. Just in case.
Just fuck's sake, I'm not going to get any
in
peace,
fact,
am I?
We're going to leave you alone with the one person who cannot smother you with a pillow.
We've all read that horror novel. Wasn't it a rolled up cardboard sheet on newspaper or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Alright, okay, look, I'm not going because I'm interested. I'm going because you guys are not going to shut up about it otherwise. And I'm not going to be able to settle until you get back.
You're not going to shut up about it. If it turns out to be something cool, we're going to tell you how much you missed out on.
Can I make a suggestion though?
Yeah.
Can we go past the where are we? Got to be maybe in refinery ops, possibly back into commercial ops. There's got to be some booze here somewhere.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, that sounds like.
Let's investigate the mystery howling while we're drunk.
Surely there'd be something
stuff.
like the
Yeah,
crew
let's get
quarters,
liquored
right?
up.
Isn't there wouldn't there be like a galley around the crew quarters
Yeah,
somewhere?
there's probably some alcohol kicking around there.
Space booze.
We gotta walk past. Yeah, so we can quickly grab a bottle. That sounds good.
It's probably just watered down methylated spirits, but
It'll do the
If
job.
it is watered down methylated spirits, I'm not drinking it.
Take a chunk of
There's
ice
a,
on that side.
Well, aren't you fancy?
Yes,
there
I'm
is
very fucking fancy because I'm not
What
going to
about if I
sit
put it in a
next.
posh glass with an olive?
There's a sell by national bottle of Texas's finest whiskey.
There you go.
Perfect.
I thought it was going to be like Texas's finest wine.
Okay, we might as well bring Elizabeth as well.
Yeah, I agree.
Sure, she says.
Do you need to sleep, Elizabeth?
She hates us so
No,
much, I'm
fine.
sure.
she basically puts a parker on for effect. Kind of follows you. Okay, you make your way. Well, it's cold, isn't it?
It's trying to make us feel better by pretending to be human and feeling the cold.
All right then, you make your way up through commercial ops, workshops, and all the way around to the deep chasm.
Pup's going first, right?
Like I said,
Yeah,
nothing going on. Let's go back to bed.
Pup's going first. Can you please make a Comtech roll for me, please, Harry?
Coming up.
What do they see?
Does he get any extra for the pup?
Yeah, you can extra 2 dice for Pup.
Okie dokie. Can you remind me how to modify the roll so that it rolls the extra 2 dice at the same time?
If you
Right click, I think.
Yeah, right click.
Right
Exactly.
click,
There we go.
yeah. Come on, yellow dice.
Hey.
Okay,
That wasn't extra dice.
that was fine. Okay, yeah, you send the pup ahead of you, and you kind of keep an eye on the PDA as it's kind of going ahead, and the pup's kind of mapping what you've already seen, but it's adding to your already mapped location of the mines. Yep, it kind of makes its way towards the deep chasm. There doesn't appear to be anything gribbly or nasty waiting for you in any of the shadows.
Oh, good.
But what's kind of weird is obviously you send your pup ahead of you, and when the pup goes through, it doesn't actually set off the lights. But when you kind of get there, because you're a bigger mass, that's when the lights kind of come on as you go. So it's a bit odd.
Can
That
we
is
adjust that
interesting.
sensitivity?
Yeah,
No.
can we make them real sensitive?
No, not really. It's kind of, jammed in, banged into the walls. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
How
Not
about
so
strapping a
bad.
flashlight to the pups?
God damn 1979 future tech.
Right.
Yeah.
Pathetic.
All of you kind of make your way towards the deep chasm. Clearly, as you get into the workshops, you can hear the sound of the chasm blowing and wailing.
No, I'm not happy with this. There's 3 airlocks in the way. Why are we hearing anything? There shouldn't be any transfer of sound or air.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, you make your way.
Yeah,
into-
see, told you it was a mystery, you dum-dum.
Putting a
Oh,
hand
there's
against
3
the
airlocks in the way. You can't possibly hear anything except for what you're hearing.
putting a hand against the corridor and like the doorways and stuff like. Is it like a reverberation or a vibration that's passing?
Yeah, there
on
is
the
a,
sound?
there is a vibration sort of like going through the building, or through the complex. Although that could just be the generators as well as the moving ice that you're kind of in, or there's obviously something going on that's allowing it to kind of go through. It's not as you kind of go through the airlocks. Definitely, the sound gets louder. You would imagine if there was 2 or 3 more airlocks in between, it probably would be almost nothing.
Elizabeth, this is actually sectioned off, right? It's not like a vent open or something like that bypassing the airlocks.
Oh, I don't know. We'll have to check.
Might be worthwhile just in case, because if that's the case, then we're venting life support anyway.
That's a good point. We don't want to be losing our
That-
warm
that-
air.
That could
So
be why it's so cold.
So I can go and check for you if you
Ooh.
want to. So she kind of like walks off, leaving you to go one direction, she'll go the other direction.
This
Obviously,
is great. I love this.
she's like, yeah, I'll see you in a minute. I'll be right back.
Yeah, sure you
She's
will.
just stepping out to get a packet of smokes.
Mhm.
So she wanders back off to commercial ops, leaving you to get to the deep chasm. Yeah,
How deep is it?
you've got the massive chasm, huge deep chasm. You don't know, with the 2 boreholes, which are on either side. That's obviously since fallen away.
When you say 2
So-
boreholes,
So you've got these 2
it's
large,
already a chasm, right?
yeah. So there are 2 large boreholes which are made of a material which kind of go down. So
Ah,
at
so
some
like
point,
okay.
yeah.
So bores,
so
like boring
yeah, so-
tubes or something.
Yeah, they're like massive tubes which kind of go
Right.
all the way down.
Isn't that how you make like what's the
You
word?
make the lift shaft.
How you generate geothermal energy? Like
You
bore 2
could,
holes
I
and
guess. You could do that, I guess. I'm sure there's probably some way of doing it. It's beyond my knowledge, I'm afraid. Anyone who's listening.
it just came up in last week's homeschooling.
Yeah.
It's usually outside my
What in the name of
expertise
God
as
are you
well.
teaching your children
Well,
about
there
this?
you go. So yeah,
Yeah, see, that's Germans for you. Alternative energies all the way. Can't do the internet in the country, but yeah, no.
Yeah, I suppose
yeah,
you
so-
weren't surrounded by quite such a same percentage of coastline.
so initially they would have drilled the holes for whatever reason, and And then when you read the sort of like the back history, they got through the ice, they got through the actual rock, but it wasn't stable, and then it fell away, leaving a deep chasm below it. And there's no further information other than that.
So it fell like to what? Okay, so there's like
So
a
the
hole
actual-
in the
yeah.
crust of the planetary crust.
Yeah. So
Through the
a bit
ice.
like a sinkhole. It's basically
Yeah.
it turned into a sinkhole.
Okay.
Is it just like a melted glacier chasm, or is it rock?
It's rock underneath the actual ice.
Right. And what are we hearing now that we're standing in the room?
So you're hearing this wailing, howling sound with creaking and cracking, and there's just this. It sounds like a woman sort of like crying, maybe almost. If you were to kind of like listen really intently, which is kind of disconcerting.
Oh,
But then,
fuck.
Hey,
then
This
it's
has turned
also
into
Hey.
Event Horizon.
Jean-Michel, can you send a pup down there a little ways? Like it's not too far down, but like
so you've got this like grid that's on top of it,
Yeah.
obviously to stop people from falling into it.
yeah,
So you'd have to unlock that
Yeah.
and then open it, and then you can.
yeah.
send it
Can we do that?
I'm so happy that we've
Um,
discovered the portal to hell.
You, well, none of you seem to have a pass key or anything to unlock it, unless anyone's got a key
Is it-
card that they can.
It's a key card type of lock, is it?
Yep.
Hey,
yeah.
Kit, maybe you should get out your universal passkey.
You could,
I don't
you could-
think I have
you
one of those.
you could hack it. It's not a problem.
With Comtech.
Yeah, Comtech, you could hack it.
Hey, Jean-Michel. I'll
was-
take the responsibility for this.
All right.
You're recording with your pup, right?
Yeah. Let's get. No, we're getting lots of things. This is a strange phenomenon. So
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, I
right.
think we need to
Slide
investigate this. We need to just see what's happening because this could be of some scientific interest. So,
Yeah.
I'm authorizing you to hack through. I'll take responsibility.
okay. Well, I was mostly trying to get Kit to use her blowtorch, but fair enough.
Oh,
Let's not damage company proper if you don't have to.
I didn't even
Okay.
get that.
Wow. Can't believe I
Okay.
didn't roll any bad ones.
Yeah, you managed to unlock it, and when you unlock it, you can actually open it from both sides, and the middle of the actual of the grid is solid across, so you can stand on one side, you can unlock it, which kind of opens up probably like a medium-sized table-sized grid that you can open, about the same size as maybe a large chest freezer. You can open that up and you can send your pop in if you wish.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep, cool. You send the pop in, the pop goes down. So yeah, the pop basically, as it's going down, it maps the area as it's going further down. You've got ice, then it turns to rock, and then it falls away, and then it's suspended in the air. And the pop can't tell you what's going on around it. It's just saying that it's free falling into
Amazing.
nothing.
Must be no
Um,
ground beneath it to get resistance on.
How this
Um,
space that's opening up? It's like completely is big, is it?
It is.
So-
So
So like
Yeah.
it's where it's sitting.
It-
The entire station is sitting above this like empty.
It's
Yeah.
a vast, empty
Yep.
void in the rock underneath.
Nice.
and then your pop loses connection,
Fuck.
and then
Right.
it goes offline.
Yeah, it's under a lot of it's under a lot of rock, it would seem, and it's lost connection. We're gonna have to go down there and retrieve it if we want to get the data directly off it. But
I mean, it's been.
I'm
beaming
guessing
the
that you want to go
data
spelunking
to
in the morning.
It's been getting giving the data back to our data.
Yeah,
pack, so we've got the
but
data.
you know, we still need to retrieve the equipment.
It's expensive.
We're just gonna need a big ass rope and a professional explorer.
You look around. There are actually
Aha.
there's actually pulleys and stuff around here. So at some point you could probably use that to put a rope
Hold on.
down.
What's the range of those pups? A kilometre? 2 kilometres?
I
Normally,
actually do not
yeah,
know.
Normally it's about 3 kilometers, but
That's
it
1,000
kind
meter plus hole.
of, but it kind of.
It depends on rock density.
So
Depends
you
when
go
it
back
lost.
and have a look. It actually lost connection about 210
Okay.
meters down.
It also, theoretically, it could drop through a void, and then because these things aren't intended to hover over a large area,
Yeah, it could be an
Yes.
overhang or something.
yeah, it gets to terminal velocity, and then its little hovering units can't compensate for the terminal velocity as it gets down to whatever ground level is,
Then it's just smack.
and then it's just smashed and ruined.
It could have passed through a portal directly into hell as well. I mean, let's just put all the
I mean,
cards on
that's
the
definitely
table.
an option. That is definitely an option.
Anyway,
Maybe when we get there, we can high five Jimmy Savile.
Oh god.
Jesus Christ.
very good. Very good.
Ah.
Why would you want to do him though? You know where his hands have been.
Ah.
Oh, for
Stop
fuck's
it.
sake.
Stop it.
Hey, where's my X card?
Yeah. Stop. Right. Back to New Alaska. You yeah. What's
You
the
are
plan?
the worst.
What is the plan?
You haven't met me yet.
Okay,
Sorry
so
about that, peoples.
you've lost a $7,500 pup.
Yeah, isn't that super?
You've got a little bit of data. Yeah.
Glad we've got another one.
And yeah,
Are they magnetic at all?
What, are you gonna just like put that magnet on the end of a rope and just pay it down forever?
Do you want to climb down there?
Yes. Just not now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not going to climb down there.
not at like 10:30 local time in the evening.
Yeah, like let's plan an actual expedition.
Are we any closer to finding out what that annoying noise was?
No, I mean the sound is still like
Well,
making
Is it
this
totally
noise.
different from
I'd
here?
like to suggest something.
It's a lot louder.
Maybe if
You
we
know
drink
when
the
your
entire
grandma
bottle,
gets
we'll hear it.
absolutely shit-faced and leaves a whole bunch of empty bottles lying around,
Ooh.
and then you can just kind of blow over the top of them to make a noise,
Maybe it's a grandma drinking party.
like
down there.
that, but on a geological scale.
I think it's worth. I think because this sound wasn't happening earlier when we arrived, and it's happening now.
But look,
I
why
think
don't we
it's. I think we need to just. I think one of us needs to climb down there right now.
Why don't we just contact the other exploration team? They were here for 8 days. See if they heard anything similar.
That is a good idea.
We could at least then possibly justify if it's getting worse, the same.
Why didn't anybody think of this before again?
It's not been logged in any
I
of the
did,
things
but
I've been reading,
we were
though.
busy doing other things.
Like, surely they would have
They've
logged
not
it.
mentioned it. They've not mentioned it.
Just because I want to amp up the tension for the game. I'm gonna get a pulley together, and I'm gonna get ready to
Sure.
go down.
Yep.
You're
okay.
right. What are we doing? Playing a role-playing game and then playing
There
it
is-
safe?
There is a yeah.
This is a
there
horror
is,
game, after all.
Yeah,
Trying to
they've
shoot a
got,
character.
they've got a high tension like looking system you can kind of hook on, and you can control it as it will take you up and down.
How
It's fine.
how much like
So
What's
the
the
cable
word?
that they've got, they've got sort of like almost a kilometer of cable.
oh,
It's
perfect.
very thin.
All
So
right.
they can quite easy. You can quite easily do that. It looks like,
Maybe somebody's thought of this before.
yeah, it looks like someone's thought of this before.
So what
They
about
built this complex around the chasm. I mean, look, they've got the balcony. It's the boreholes are there.
what about torches? Have I got a powerful torch I can
Yeah.
take with me?
Yeah, you can take some torches. You've got some torches there.
Okay. And my shotgun I'm gonna have like
Hey,
over my shoulder.
That's fine.
this is maybe a dumb idea, but do we happen to know where we can get some really bright flares?
There are flares here.
Human eyes are very sensitive to light. In complete darkness, you can see a candle light from kilometers away.
Mm-hmm.
So if we toss a real bright flare down there, it'll give us some idea of what we're dealing with, because
True,
we'll
true.
presumably be able to see it.
Yep.
Wouldn't that damage the pup though?
Well, if the pup has fallen 200 plus meters,
Yeah.
to a
I
hard
forget that I asked
surface.
that. I forgot I asked
I
that.
feel like a flare dropping onto it is not going to make anything worse.
Yeah.
So this harness I'm getting. So it's a harness that I'm getting into, or what is it?
Yeah,
Exactly?
it's like a little. You've got like a little kind of harness that you can get into for climbing, and you can kind of attach it to it. And then someone at the top can either
Okay.
manually push
With
a
a
button and
cable.
you go
With
down,
a flexible
or-
cable.
yeah.
Okay.
With a
all right.
flexible cable, yeah.
All right. But I can also just dangle and they can just lower me down, right?
Yeah, you can do that as well.
So I got both hands free.
You could do.
I mean I think that's the way to do it.
Okay. So
And
yeah,
we'll keep
probably-
comms open while I'm going down. I'm just gonna take a strong torch in one hand. I've got my rifle slung over my shoulder with the over my shoulder, and I guess the second pup can come with me to just kind of scan around because it's got a torch on it or something, right?
No,
What are
it
you
doesn't
going to
have a
do?
torch
Tie
on
it to your waist? Actually, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Because it can scan, right?
It can scan. If
It
you
can.
If
It's just I'm concerned about the falling part. That it
Yeah,
also
but
can
yeah,
do.
I mean, if strap it
Why
to me
not
or something,
just-
sure.
you could
Yeah,
hang on to
put
it.
it in your front pocket, and then when you get down to the bottom,
They're big though, aren't they? They're like the size of a.
They're about that big.
Yeah, like
Ah,
here's an
okay. I thought they were
About that
more.
size.
I thought they were more
Kit.
like.
I've got an idea. Pass me your duct tape.
Right, we're strapping a drone, a small
We're gonna
drone
make
to my
We're gonna make a
chest.
1979 GoPro.
That's fine. No problem. Yeah.
Going on your head.
Why not? I've got a helmet on. I'm sure there's a helmet there.
Yeah. Sure.
All right.
Okay. You.
So I've
have
got
we
a.
got a mechanical line as well as an electronic line? Because if he's taking the control down for the wedge,
Yeah.
we've got a way if everything else fails just to ratchet him up again.
You could do that. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll do
That's
that.
fine.
All right.
Okay.
It's such a bad idea.
Off you go. You get
Better him than me.
winched down. Okay. You drop off into darkness. Down past the boars themselves.
What's happening
And,
with the sound while this is happening?
So the sound is really loud. As you go in, you as you start to drop down past one of the boars, you're probably where it says deep, so just there. You can hear and you can actually see the boar themselves actually shaking a little bit from the sound. And as soon as you kind of go sort of about, I don't know, you probably reckon about 60, 70 meters, and you get to sort of like the ground part, or the stone part after the ice. It starts to get windier, and you start being pushed around a little bit from the wind. That seems to be like a wind kind of chopping up from underneath, coming up.
Okay.
And it really starts to kind of get really loud, so much so that you can't even hear the winch anymore. And all you've got is the sound of this whistling noise. And you keep going. You can see the sides with your torch of the wall, and then all of a sudden, you've got nothing. You push your flashlight around, and you can't actually see where the flashlight is hitting. It's just dark everywhere around you. And you're kind of just being now dropped into sort of like this chasm. It's
Okay,
opened up
Jack,
into a
you
chamber.
should be in a really, really big cavern about now. How are you feeling?
Could
Yeah.
you please make for me?
Yeah. Yep. I thought this was coming.
Uh,
A willpower
remember,
test,
we can
whatever that
always
means.
just stop and go to bed.
yeah.
Don't shit yourself,
Is
Rob.
that going to be?
In fact, tell you what, don't do that. Give yourself one stress.
Uh-huh.
Oh dear.
All right.
You have to make a roll. Just give yourself one stress.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
this
just a
is-
bit freaky. It's like, okay, you're in a
I'm
void.
in I can't see anything. Look, I'm shining my light around. I can't see anything. I'm looking down. I can't see anything. Look, I'm here already. Just keep. I'm blown around a little bit, but
Yep.
everything's
Yeah.
fine. Just keep dropping me down.
And You keep saying it's you. Can't hear him anymore. The comms
Hello?
are out.
Hello?
Nothing.
Oh, shit.
Can I do a little backtrack and say, could we have pre-arranged a couple of tug signals, like 3 tugs, pull me up quickly, 2 tugs, comms in.
I'm not sure that's going to work, though. That works for underwater, but if I'm hanging on a cable...
It's like
2 lines.
I'm not going to be able to... Oh, 2 lines. Yeah, maybe.
yeah, go on. I'm going to be generous here. Sure.
To
That's
be fair,
fine.
I think if one of the cables starts jerking violently, we'd have some idea that maybe he wanted up.
Yeah,
So-
whereas like a steady 2 pulls is like, there's something up, but keep me lowering down sort of thing.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
and,
3
like,
3 tugs is get me out of here as soon as possible. All right.
2 is keep going.
2 is I'm aware that things aren't great, but let's keep going. Yep. So I'll give it 2 tugs.
Okay. Yep. Okay.
What's 1 tug? Nothing.
Far.
Something's eating you. That's what one tug is.
Alright.
30 quid.
I tug 3 times. That's called GM foreshadowing. I'm not stupid.
Right. Yeah, you keep going. You keep going. You're looking at the actual left indicator. It's getting almost to a kilometer.
Oh wow.
And I still can't see anything.
Well,
can I?
You can. Well,
How
as
much
you're
cable
sort of like
did we have again?
just over a kilometer's worth of cable.
It is,
yeah,
in
you
fairness, a shed load of cable.
You kind of like look around, and you can actually see a blinking light from a pup. And you start to keep going down, and eventually you can see the ground coming up. And you.
What's the temperature like?
It's not cold.
Yeah, I wouldn't
it's
expect
not.
it
It's
to be.
not warm. It's not warm, but it's not cold either.
Okay.
You kind of look around. And,
It should be.
I'm a kilometer
see-
below the surface.
yeah, you can see that as you're kind of like moving your flashlight around, there's actually now raised platforms around you.
Okay.
And
What-
you kind of like
Do they look?
gone into sort of like
do they
a
look
shallow kind of ditch.
I'm recording on this with the pup, right? Is the pup still working
yeah.
if I look down? Oh,
Yeah,
it's on
but-
my head, isn't it? Never mind. Never mind.
You're like,
Pup 2.
and you land sort of like in a shallow ditch, which is where the other pup is, and it's blinking with like a red light saying that it's not connected.
Yeah. I'm gonna pocket the pup,
Yep.
and I'm gonna go. Is one of the I'll give the cable 2 tugs.
Mhm.
And then I'm going to while I'm still attached to the cable.
Yeah.
Can I wander over to one of the the base
Yeah.
of one of the platforms? Does it
Yep.
look like it's something that's been made by us?
You kind of get closer, and you know initially you think it's quite irregular, but then as you get closer you realize it's actually smoothed.
What do you mean by that? Smooth?
So it almost looks like a table. So you kind of like follow this gully to a raised platform, which you think is like kind of like a raised bit of rock. But as you get closer, you realize that the raised bit of rock is actually smooth. So as you get to it, it looks very much like a large step, which then goes onto a table made of rock, and it's polished
When you
stone.
say it's a table made of rock, do you mean
like a
table as we understand it, and
Crystal.
it's got like 4 legs and
You'll
a
want it-
space underneath? Or is it...
Well, you could call it a
A ledge?
plinth or a ledge
or
or an altar or something like that,
Oh, an altar.
or any of those sorts of things. It's a solid
Uh-huh.
square.
So it's like a solid rectangular mass.
I'm not
Like
bleeding.
a carved out area.
I'm not bleeding, am I? Just want to get
No.
that. Okay.
You're not.
Not yet.
Nope. No.
I'm gonna get a torch. Not a torch. I'm gonna get one of the flares out
Yeah.
and light it, and I'm gonna throw it
Okay.
as far as I can
You throw it. It
Towards
goes
that.
over the.
on on
Table.
top of the table thing. Yeah.
Yep. Yep. It goes onto the table.
Does it light up anything else?
Well, you kind of like look up over to the table. You can see the torches on it, and it's actually the table itself goes on for quite a distance. And then you realize when you actually kind of get closer that it looks more like a long pathway. And it looks like you're in a ditch, you got up onto a step, which has then gone to this, what you thought was a long sort of altar sort of thing, but actually that continues on into darkness.
I can't see any walls or anything else around me. It's just,
no.
And this has like it drops off on the sides as well, so it's like a raised
So
like a
on the
raised
sides.
path.
Yeah.
And if I was to walk on it and walk off one of the sides, I'd fall off, or on the other side,
Yeah,
I'd fall off.
you
So it's
fall off into
okay.
into
Okay.
the other side.
So it's like a raised path.
Walkway is the best way to describe it.
Yeah. And what's it made out of?
It looks like it's made out of some kind of black rock, almost like obsidian.
I want to get
No, there's
as
plenty of that around here.
I want
That's
to
the
get
best
as
thing you can
close
think
as possible and use like tilt my head down so that the pup can get like a good reading of it.
of. Okay.
I don't suppose I probably didn't bring like a pick with me or anything that would have been what Jean-Michel would have been good to come down with me.
Yeah.
He probably would have got his little rock pick out and take a sample back with us.
I definitely would have.
I could just like get my shotgun and blast a bit of it off.
Good.
I mean, I'm literally
Make an
shining a
observation
light
roll.
in the. Oh my god! Here we go. Observation, you said, right?
Yeah.
Any modifiers?
No, just straight.
2 successes. Oh, fuck! I've got a stress die, don't I? Because I'm yeah. I forgot about that.
Okay.
Do I see anything?
You're like, there's nothing there. You're almost worried that there's nothing there because you're not seeing something that maybe should be there, but there's nothing there. And then you catch a small glint off to the right-hand side of something just off to the side of the actual raised platform, or the raised walkway. You could probably get to it. You'd have to like walk around the side of the actual walkway. It's just off to the side.
Does it look like you could reach it from the pathway?
You'd have to climb off of the pathway to reach it. If you were to get up onto the pathway and then
So
climb off.
the path. Okay, so the ground below the pathway is like.
It's uneven and
Okay.
it looks like there are ditches on either side.
When you say I see something, what is the something I see?
Something in the light, something glints. Then when you kind of like really kind of look, you have to kind of like lean over and look. There's like a groove or something that whatever that item has fallen into. So you can just make out a glint of metal, but you don't know what it is until you actually go and have a look at it.
Oh, you're dangling a carrot in front of me here.
And it's probably about 12 meters away from where you are.
That's bloody nothing. All right, fine.
Mhm.
I'm gonna go have a look.
Cool. Take a step, and you're as you get closer, you tug. That's the end of the line. It's probably about 8 meters away.
No.
I'm shining my torch. Can I make anything else out?
Shining the torch. It's got a handle, and it's metallic.
A handle.
Because it's fallen into this kind of like groove, you can just make out like a metal handle or something sticking out.
Have I got any more?
Literally.
Got many more flares with me?
Yeah, you've got. Roll me d6. You've got that many flares left.
Like a real one here, or do you want me to roll one on the in?
Roll a real one, just for fun.
Yeah, real physical dice are nice.
2.
2. Okay, you got 2 more flares. Sorry, what was that?
Could we remember why they shut this place down in the first place?
What the
Mine.
They haven't
drilled
shut it
too
down.
deep.
They just haven't used it for almost a year.
They don't need
Yeah.
it all the time.
Why?
So they
haven't
don't use it all the
used?
time because they only come here if they're after specific minerals.
It was rare earth. Sorry,
yeah.
I remember now.
I'm gonna light another flare, one of my 2 remaining flares.
Okay.
I'm gonna throw
Okay.
it as close as I can get it to this thing,
Yep. Okay.
and see if because 8 meters away isn't that far. right?
It's not that far.
I want to just see if I can see more details without like unclipping myself from the harness.
Okay. You throw the flare and it kind of lands. It actually lands just behind it.
Uh-huh.
And you can see when it lands on something soft. You're like, what? Then the flare kind of catches a light to what looks like a jacket or something. As soon as the flare lands, it catches a light to the material, and it starts to burn. And you can see there's like some clothing or something there.
Oof.
And then it just starts to burn and it starts to catch a light. You can see it looks like an ape suit or something that's kind of caught alight, or at least something like that. Maybe an environmental suit or something that's starting to burn. It's starting to billow smoke and flames.
I'll bite.
Okay.
Yep. Chris, do you need do you have another game coming up?
I kind of do, yeah.
That's fine.
This is probably a good place to leave it on
Seems
a
like
cliffhanger.
a good place indeed. As you unclip,
It's like I clip my harness.
and then
Fish boy.
remind me at the beginning of next session for you to make another observation.
Oh my goodness, best cliffhanger ever.
Well done.
Literally.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Nice.
What could possibly go wrong?
Well,
Everything.
I'm just gonna zoom in on this deep chasm.
Burning ape suit.
Can't get any closer.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna try and get some assets of gravestones with rest in peace on them.
What's the worst that can happen? It'll be fine.
What game were we playing again? Like, what was it called?
Table.
The happy, lovely, nothing bad happens game.
Happy fluffy bunnies eat Easter eggs.
Space Miners.
Space Miners, that's it.
All
We
right.
laugh, but I
Which-
play that.
Has anybody ever played Maid before?
Nope.
Made.
It's weird.
MAID.
It was awesome, but it was weird.
Okay.
Is it
I
about
showed-
domestic servants or mobsters?
Yes, it is. No, domestic servants. Very much domestic servants. Also mildly mangafied.
Is this a German game?
No,
Oh.
I don't think so.
Is it played in the dungeon? Like, is it a basement?
No, not that I know of.
not just
Although I
some
do
fetish
think
thing.
I do think there's different scenarios. But no, we played this in a medieval castle. I said in a
Okay,
medieval
okay.
castle, not from a medieval castle.
Right. Cool. We'll let you get off to your next game, Chris, and
Yes,
we'll leave it here.
thank you very much,
So,
Chris.
Thank you very
That
much,
seems
Ed.
like a plan.
Hey, good night, everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good night,
Cheers,
everyone.
thank you very
Thanks.
much.
All
Can't
right,
wait
we'll
for next
catch
session.
you in. Is it 2 weeks, or we have a
3 weeks.
3
3
weeks.
weeks.
Oh, 3 weeks. Is it 3 weeks?
Exactly. So we're taking. We've got a clash of some dates. So we're the normal date of the 30th is not going to work out. So
Oh god, I'm gonna
Sixth-
need some reminders.
6th of June.
6th of June.
6th of June is going to be our next episode. So in 3 weeks' time. Cool.
Amazing.
And I'll be joining you from overseas, the
Ooh.
gods of travel willing.
Amazing.
All
Brilliant.
right. Cool.
Good luck.
So thanks everyone for watching. If you haven't
Need it.
already, hit the subscribe and like button at the bottom of the video, so it helps the channel to grow. If you want to reach out and get in touch on social media, it's all in the banner at the bottom of this video. Also in the show description, there's some links. Discord is the best place because we're all very active on Discord. Thanks very much, and catch you next time.
Cheers.
Good night.